Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack-o'-lantern still like Jackson, and this one is I'm just trying to better my sister. She does these Brussels sprouts and like bakes them, so I want to see if I can fry them, right? And do them on the stovetop because A, my stove's busted, and B, I like fried stuff. And our butter fried potatoes that we did last week really kind of take me off on how this might actually work. So this is going to be great. It's going to be super simple, super fast. Probably going to be a little short video, so I'm padding it out with this big intro. Let's jump into it. Before we do, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, ring the little bell. You know how this stuff works. Also, there's a link down in the doobly-doo for our merch, and let's just get into it. See? Nice and short. Alright, as promised, nice and simple. Look at this. You're going to need some of these Brussels sprouts. You get them in this bag for like $3 or $4. Don't worry if they start turning yellow on you. You're fine. A little bit of butter, and then whatever you want to season it with. Now I'm using this tequila lime. It's like supposed to be for like barbecue rub. And I'm going to use a little bit of garlic. But you can use absolutely anything to season these. Just straight salt and pepper is fine. I'm trying the tequila lime stuff. I'd like to use some of the Nashville hot powder stuff. But first things first, wash your sprouts, man. Once you got those nice and scrubbed, pull the spotted leaves off. Get you a nice sharp knife, and you want to cut this little piece of root here. That's an unappetizing part of it. It's brown or yellow. See what I'm talking about? Yeah, just cut that off, and then you want to slice this, but you want to slice it where the root is, so all the leaves will stay together. Okay? Whoop. See that? You can kind of see how they wrap around each other. They're little bitty cabbages all there. So get you a pot after you cut everything up and start it to a boil. So turn that up so much to high. Once it starts boiling, you can turn it down. But just keep cutting off these little roots. See these roots poke out? And slicing those in half. Once it starts getting to where you're getting the little bubbles on the bottom, go ahead and add your cut in half Brussels sprouts. You want to bring this to a boil once they're in there and let them boil for about 3-4 minutes. Okay? You get a nice decent rolling boil on here. Let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes. It makes it where it cooks the inside of it. You just straight fry them. A lot of times the inside won't cook all the way. So if you boil it this way, the heat gets in the inside, cooks a little bit. So once it's been doing that, just pull it off to the side. Don't worry about straining or draining it. We're just going to get us another pot. If you have the only one pot, just go ahead and strain it. But I like that and a half two, so get this. Now look at your butter. See on the side it shows you that you can measure your tablespoons. We're going to use 2 just to start off with. We're going to end up using more, but just take a knife, run it down there. Be careful of your fingers. Put 2 tablespoons in there. Put it about medium high, and make sure to get the mustache hair that fell in there out. Jeez. Just like my grandmother, and let that heat. Now while that's melting, go ahead and add your garlic to this. Yeah, there we go. You can use regular stuff, and just like 2 to 3 cloves is more than enough for this batch, which is usually about 1, maybe not like a bulgy 1 spoon of this. And because it's me, I'm probably going to add more because garlic, and I don't like the smell of Brussels sprouts. The smell of cooked garlic covers the smell really well. So once your butter starts getting down there, get you a slotted spoon. Finally a reason to have a spoon that doesn't hold stuff. And it holds stuff. Strain off as much of the water as you can. Let it run out of the bottom of that spoon. And remember that water gets in between the leaves, so just let it in there. And then go ahead and put it in here. Now once you put it in here, you want to cook it for about 4 to 5 minutes. Get it nice and cooked. It'll cook through, it'll get squishy, and then it'll start to get hard. It's kind of like French fries, cooking potatoes, like how the potato gets squishy, and then as the outside of it starts getting brown, it starts getting harder. You can see that crispy stuff. This does the same thing. So give it a nice stir, make sure it gets a coating of that butter and that garlic. Now if you reach down there and there's not enough butter, if it's soaked into it, because again it absorbs a lot of this, it goes in between the leaves, go ahead and add some more. It doesn't hurt to, just about half a tablespoon at a time until you make sure that there's a little bit of butter down there to cook it in. Alright? See, look. I think, yeah, I was pushing around. See down here? There's not enough butter down there. Everything's still kind of cooking. It's still starting to get squishy, but not cooked squishy. So it's about 2 minutes in. I want to add some butter. I think I forget for a minute. Be sure to keep it stirred for a little bit. It's the proverbial meat on the metal. This is veg, so keep the veg on the metal. See, here's me adding more butter. But you want to cook it well cooked all around, so you need to keep stirring it, okay? Once it starts getting browned on the edges, you'll start seeing, the edges turn brown. It's hard because it turns like that dark yellow and then brown, so it kind of blends in. You don't want to overcook it. So I did mine for right at 4.5-5 minutes. And then once they started browning on the edges, because this hides it, so you got to do this later, go ahead and hit your seasoning. Now, it said to lightly dust it, which from what I understand just means coat the hell out of it. So do that and then toss it around. It's going to make sure everything gets a nice coat of that seasoning. But once you start getting brown, you put the seasoning on, give it about 2 minutes. but you want to give 2 minutes with the seasoning on it. A little bit longer if you want them a little crispier. I don't mind them being squishy, really. I mean, it's cooked vegetables. I think that the Brussels sprouts that are crunchy are horrible. But after like 2 minutes, get your seasoning on it, kill your heat, and then use that same slotted spoon, pull them out, boom. Now this could be a full meal if you're just sitting around and you're into Brussels sprouts. If you're just that kind of weird, feel free. It's a great side, it's a great opener, it's a great appetizer because it's big. You can eat it with a toothpick if you can. So there you have it. Again, you can use it as a meal if you're just hungry and you just really like Brussels sprouts. I don't know about food prep. If you were going to reheat it, I'd probably suggest using an air fryer to reheat instead of microwaving because it tends to make everything squishy. But yeah, it worked great as meal prep as a side, I think. Just careful how you reheat it. But this is great. You need to try it out. It's a fun way to eat Brussels sprouts that isn't just boiled or baked Brussels sprouts. Blech. And there you have it, folks. Brussels sprouts that even I'll try to eat. I'm not a big fan, but I wanted to try this, wanted to make it better, and this turned out really well. If you want to see us do it differently, or you do it differently, want to see us do it how you do it, let us know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also find us on social media. You can find us at Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. You can find us on all those at In Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us at Instagram. We had to shorten it over there to Living Between. You can also find me on all of those, as well as Twitter and TikTok. I'm on all the social medias under my name, Osway Nerdy, and I will see y'all next time. My house smells like Brussels sprouts that smell good. That's weird. So, yeah, good luck. Let me know how they turn out. Y'all be safe.